Okay, and live, here we go. Do I see something? All right. Welcome to the next editing session. This time I thought we'll do something a little different. We're going to do a portrait session. This is something I don't do as much as dance or gymnastics, but I do it too. And actually I've been doing it more lately. So I wanted to edit this because I haven't really done much on this one anyways, and I think it's something different. So let's have a look at how many photos I have, and you're gonna call me crazy. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. 2,545 photos from one session. Yes, I know, it's crazy. But you know, honestly, it doesn't cost anything to just take photos and just catch whatever moment. Maybe she's blinking, maybe she's looking away, maybe she's moving, and I'll just keep shooting until well, not until, but I just capture all the moments. Okay. Let's see. Where do I start? I already picked a few photos. Like usually when I start with editing a session, I don't really have I mean, like it's just an abundance of photos. And what I do when I haven't really done it to this one, just a little bit, so we're going to go through that steps, is I'm going to go through the photos and I'm going to just pick the best ones from each pose. Like as you can see when I'm scrolling through here, I have one set up, like she was standing next to a window, and then she does different poses, and I'll pick the best out of each. I'll make a selection, and once I have that selection, then I'm going to go back in and tell Lightroom only show the selected photos, and then and I'm going to edit those. But I haven't really done it on this session, so you know what? We're just going to start from the top and not do the boring part. We're just going to go through it and just do as we go. You can see I've done a little bit already. Like here, these are unedited, and I've here done a little bit. Your hair is fluffy, so just sleep. That is just my artistic expression. As an artist, you have to have wild hair, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just don't ask me. It's just my hair. It's just that's the way it is. Um, do you recommend any hair products? Hi Nicole. Hi Z1 Mountain. Z1 Mountain. Z Mountain. Oh, I'm not very good. Artistic expression here is it? Yes, I agree. That's the way it is, right? So one thing we can agree on, that she has better hair than I have. How about that? So I've done a little bit of editing to a few, but I want to show you one that I haven't really. Actually, let me look what I've done. Yeah, I've done very little. I've done a few masks, but not much. What is this here? What is going on with these masks? Anyways, let me look a little closer. This is 100%, so that's the resolution my camera has. And by the way, her eyes are not edited. That's her eyes. That's the way she is. Who cares about the hair? You look fine. Thanks, Nicole. I look fine. That's the best compliment I'm gonna get today, so I'll take it. Yeah, back to the real model. There's not gonna be a lot of, actually there's gonna be almost no skin editing. I don't know if you've watched my previous lives. I've done a lot of skin editing, like little things and stuff like that. This one, I don't think on this session I need to do anything. You can see like she has perfect skin. There's almost nothing to do. It's always a tiny little bit, you have a little lint or whatever on your face or hair or something. But other than that, there's probably nothing I need to do. And yeah, by the way, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm not doing this just for myself. I want to, like, if there's anything I can answer, please let me know. I've asked you last stream, but I think you missed it. Sorry, here we go. I missed it. Could you up the bitrate on the stream even? Oh, So here's the thing. I don't think I can go beyond 1080p, but you know what? It's a good point. I'll check the settings, but I think I did. Um, you know what? Let me do that. Let me do that real quick. I can check the settings and see what's going on. Settings. What the stream bitrate is here. Stream. Here we go. Output. So it is set to hardware, um, audio bitrate, video bitrate. I think I shouldn't mess with them. I'm just looking for the resolution here. Video. Here we go. Yeah, it's 1090. No, sorry, 1020, 10, no, 1920, 1080. Yeah, that's what it is. So, yeah, sorry. I've done some tests in the beginnings before I did all these, and it actually looked really good. So I don't know, but it depends on like where you are and everything. Resolution's fine, but the bitrate is a bit low. That is weird, huh? All right, I'll look into it. I don't want to fiddle it with it too long because I might have to like restart that session and just throw those off. So I'm trying to move very little. I think the less I move, the better the quality, right? I don't know. Just kidding. But I think it does affect it. Anyway, so yeah, let's go back to this one. So this was a portrait session I did, let me think, I think in October last year. I have a set of masks, and I'm going to go through it and explain it a little more. Hey, Austin, thanks for coming. So I'm going to go through those a little more, what I'm actually doing. Excuse me. Because I'm creating a lot of masks by default. Not that I need all of them, but I have a preset that I made myself, and I go through that, where I explain like every little mask that I do that I might need for portraits. But let's go through a few photos first, and then we'll go with that. Like here. So again, she was standing right next to a light, a window to the right, my right, her left. So I didn't use any light on this one. I did bring one large softbox. That's all I needed for this session because the location was just awesome. It's an old building. The entire floor was like the second floor or something. Was just all open and like all the windows, and there was just like an old hardwood floor. There was like a stage. There was a piano, and like everything was old. Like all the furniture was old. It was so cool. That was perfect for a photo shoot because you can just in any direction you would walk or bring the model and shoot, you have cool lights and cool background. I'll show you later. There's a little more in later shots. I have a little more of the location. Let's see. What did I do here? There's all my masks again. I don't think I did anything really. Just a little bit exposure and shadows. So I always bring the shadows up. When you do black and white, what I don't like, a lot of photographers, when they do black and white, it's just so contrasty. And then like the blacks completely fade away. And I don't like that. I think there should be a little bit of detail left. So that's why I usually bring the shadows up a little bit. Not too much. Shouldn't be looking like foggy, but yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. And by the way, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna look her up real quick. She doesn't. Her name's Liberty. She doesn't have a YouTube, but she has an Instagram, and I'm gonna copy her account into the chat here, and see if you want to follow her at Liberty _ where am I? HUGHETT. Tink. Let's see if I can pin this message. So this is if you want to follow her on Instagram, that is her handle there. Cool. I told her that I'm editing her session, but I think she's playing basketball right now, so she won't be going live. I won't be joining her live. Maybe later. We'll see. I don't know how long I'm going to do this until my voice breaks down. Okay. So let's see. Honestly, when I do a portrait session, in general session, like the first few photos are just warm up. Like it's not like I go with the mindset. It's just a warm up, right? The first photos usually they don't end up being the ones that I like the most or the best or whatever. But it's just getting used to the camera, getting used to the lens, getting used to the light, getting used to me, and so on. You know. So yeah, and I wasn't really sure what to do with the light. Actually, this is the first setup I did, and I really like it. Do models approach you or often on Instagram for collaborations due to the size of your account? I'm not on Instagram. Certain exposure. Hey, by the way, thanks for coming. Yes, so honestly, I, I don't know if you guys know, like I had an Instagram for 14 years and they shut it down. Like, they've shut down thousands of accounts. So eventually mine was taken down. Not that I had any like community guideline violations or anything. They didn't even give me a reason. And I had 600,000 followers. So yes, that definitely helped. Like I had a lot of people reach out to me and want to do collabs. I don't really do that if someone reaches out unless they have something really unique, interesting, or something. Other than that, it's my job. I need to make money, so it doesn't really help if I shoot for free. You know what I mean? It's just like if you have a store and someone comes in like, "Hey, can I have a free whatever lunch meal, whatever?" I'm like, "Okay." Um, so yeah, but yeah, people do reach out. But it's not a negative. I don't see it as a negative. I'm not rude. If someone wants to work with me, it's always like it's a compliment basically. But you know, I can't do it for free too often unless there's something really interesting. The cool thing about having a lot of followers, it helps to kind of get clients. So there's a lot of people that reach out on Instagram and want to work with me and become clients basically. And having a lot of followers does help. It's just what's it called? Social media cloud, basically. The Chandler shot is great. Yeah, comes a little bit later. Actually, I really like this one. And there is not much I would actually do on this one. I think what I noticed. Let me go to the mask. Actually, I'm going to explain the mask real quick. What I do. So, a preset is basically in Lightroom is just you do a few things. You adjust settings. You create a mask. You do whatever you do, and you can save all of what you've done as a preset. So when you click on that preset, it does everything in that preset and applies it to the photo. It's great to get a lot of masks in. Even if you don't do adjustments, just creating the mask already helps. So for instance, the first one is skin. Lightroom can do that automatically. You can find a person and then say just select the skin. And so that's what I have. Just in case I want to do something just for the skin. Like for instance, sometimes I change the color on the skin separately from the rest. Then I create a mask, or Lightroom creates a mask for me with just the hair. Sky is an interesting one because we're indoors. It doesn't really make sense. I don't know what it's doing here. Obviously, it's getting a little bit into the hair. I don't need this mask, but I'm not doing any adjustments, so it doesn't hurt to have it. Bright edge and highlight paints up. I'm going to explain these two things a little bit more with an example because it's kind of only makes sense if I have an example to show you. Face is another Lightroom feature it can do. I have a bad hair day every day. Daryl, that's thank you. Thank you for helping me out here. You know what is worse than having a bad hair day is having no hair. If you're completely bald, then you wish you had bad hair. Anyways, face. So obviously, and that's actually an interesting one because let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. See, like the face, it's excluding the eyes and the eyebrows for some reason. I am not sure. I would consider the eyebrows part of the face, but I guess in terms of editing, they thought they want to exclude it. You can make a mask where that is included. I haven't. Background, very obvious, everything but the subject. Then the subject, that's everything, in this case, the person. And then I have two two more for the eyes and the pupils separate. Honestly, let me zoom in, you can see it. It's not doing the best job in picking the pupils. See, it's like going a little bit into the eye. Anyway, so this is just in case I want to edit the eye separately. So those are all the masks that I do as part of my portrait preset. Again, it doesn't mean I'm adjusting everything like separately. I just want to have the mask just in case. It doesn't really cost anything to do. Like it costs very little memory and everything. One thing I noticed is that this side of the hair is too dark. Okay, so all I do is I'm going to create a mask for this. I'm using a lot of hotkeys, so if you see something pop up, I'll try to explain. So hitting the K button is the, I don't know why they use K, because for a brush, I wish they had used something else that makes a little more sense, but K is a brush. So I'm going to brush just this dark area. I'm going to give it a little bit of exposure. See how it's like, now it has a little bit of detail. A little bit the shadows. Okay. And then you can turn the mask, just the mask that I just did right here. I'm going to turn this on and off, and you see like it goes from pure black with almost no detail in the hair to, you know, you see some detail. That's what I want. Dark hair. I like to give masks a name. Otherwise they come in just like mask 1, mask 2, mask 3, whatever. I just like to give it a name so I kind of know when I have a lot like this what it actually does, you know. Can you extend a shot within this program? Sometimes when I'm using AI, I extend an image without outpainting tools, which adds things like that doesn't really exist in the image already. Like, yes, very good question. Unfortunately, Lightroom, and I really, really wish they could do it, could extend the canvas, so it can't. Like in Photoshop, it's really easy. You can just extend the canvas, and then you can say either, what's it called? Generative AI, or you can use content aware or something like that, you know. It's kind of like one step before AI. It can do that, but not Lightroom. Unfortunately, I really wish, because often it's just, I just want to have it a little more just like, but yeah, Lightroom doesn't do it. And I get why, because Lightroom actually doesn't modify the actual image file, the raw file. What it does, it creates instruction set to what to do on it, but it doesn't write to the file. It doesn't change it. So the file is always going to be the boundary in that regard. I guess they could find a way around it, but so far they haven't. Excuse me. And I think the real reason they're not doing it is because they want you to buy Photoshop instead of using Lightroom more and more. But honestly, other than that, I do everything in Lightroom. Like that's the only thing. Like if I have a canvas extension, that's when I go into Photoshop. Other than that, everything Lightroom. Cool. I don't try to like finish a photo all the way. Funny enough, when I edit it first, when I go into a session and edit it, I just rather I just edit a few and go on, see what else I have, and then sometimes I go back and like, oh, okay, now I know what to do with this one because the other one does that. So every photo has a purpose, and I feel like sometimes I don't know really what to do with a photo. I play around, come back, and then I look at it again. The other thing you should really do is, like, when you work on one photo for a very long time, your eyes kind of get, well, I'm not so tired is not maybe the right word, but like you look at the photo too long and you're just trying to, and that's when it happens that you kind of over edit it and you don't see the colors right anymore. So just go on, move on to the next photo, edit another one, come back, and then usually the first impression you have when you look at a photo, you come back to it and look at it again, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, now this is too yellow. I don't know what I was thinking. So yeah, I try not to edit a photo too long. I'm just gonna get like too, what's the word? fatigued or something, eye fatigue. Cool. As you can see, let me zoom in a little more here. I know I usually, but there's really nothing to edit. So I'm not going to bore you guys with boring skin editing in this one here. I might do some little things here and there. There's like a hair going through, whatever. Sometimes like that, I edit that out. But other than that, there's nothing to do. I really like how this one turned out. On the other hand, it's very tight. Let me see. Oh, this is the full frame. I don't know. And then the other thing that I should do, and I haven't really done it here, I should shoot a little wider so I have a little more room to edit the crop, try different angles, things like that. I usually like this one, like a little bit angled. So it looks like she's leaning. That's a little too close. This is 100%. And yes, again, those are real eyes. It's not AI. It's not edit. There's nothing. I haven't edited anything on this one. Oh, actually, let me show you. This is actually really cool. So when you create a new mask, you get this little, here on the right side, this thing. There's a landscape object, brush, blah, blah, blah. And then at the bottom, if it recognizes a person, it says, oh, there's people. Here's person 1. It even recognizes multiple ones. Every time I try to edit photos, they wind up looking washed out, especially with bright colors. Yeah, depends on how you shoot. And then, I mean, like one thing that I do is I have one good screen. Like I'm working on a laptop which has a really good screen. It's a MacBook Pro, and I use that as a reference. But you know, still, as I said, if you edit one photo for too long, it just, you know, you make it worse than good. And then let it go, come back, first impression, and look at that again. So and I hate when it goes too bright, so I'm probably more on the other side. My photos are probably a little bit on the not lower side, but I rarely go to bright. I'm trying to avoid that. One thing about when you have a lot of light and you have bright colors, you can't get a lot of saturation in it, and that's why they sometimes look washed out. So think about, this is your entire, is that in screen? Yes. This is your entire spectrum, right? And when you have all the colors are very bright, all you have is this top section, let's say, right? The top third, that's all the bright colors. And then you don't have a lot of wiggle room to adjust contrast or brightness, sorry, not brightness, saturation. So the brighter the color, the less saturated it becomes. You know, the less room you have to change colors or adjust colors or booster color. So I would just recommend bringing it all down, get it, you know, looking more saturated, and then carefully bring the brightness back up. Did you use flash for this photo shoot, or was it just window light? And no flash. I don't have flash anymore. Literally, I don't own a flash anymore. I got rid of all the flashes. I don't like flash anymore. The only reason flash exists is because we didn't have powerful lights enough to light the scene. So we created flashes, which gives you a lot of light just for a short moment. That's usually enough for a photo. But it brings along a lot of other like downsides. Like you have to have a trigger. That triggers a flash and it has to sync with the camera. You can only shoot so fast, and so on. There's a lot of things. I don't like that. I've used flash obviously my entire life, but now I switched to completely LED, so continuous light. And in this session, I did bring my lights, my LEDs, but it had beautiful, beautiful window light, like natural light coming through the window. So this photo that we're looking at is 100% natural light from the window. And then let me show you a little bit later. Let me scroll down a little bit. Like on these here. This is actually a light that I set up. It looks still very natural, but yeah, this is all. But the room had a super cool natural light anyway, so yeah, I really like that. Okay. Okay, I have to try that. Yes. Um, you know, again, like, and I noticed that too. The brighter you go, the less saturation you have. It's just you're fighting the wiggle room you have with your colors. No reflectors, white modifiers. Oh yeah, I do. Sorry, I forgot to explain that. Certain exposures. I like that username. That's actually really cool. um, I like large softboxes. I have a huge. It's stupid. I'm showing it in my camera and I'm going too wide. What is it? I think 90 centimeters or almost a meter, 3 feet wide softboxes, and you can put grids in it if you want to. That's pretty much all I use. Or I use just a bare light. If I just do an edge light from the behind, I mean, you guys know what edge light is. If you don't, let me know. And I just use a reflector, just a bare hard light, because it doesn't need to be soft. If it's, well, it depends, but usually I don't. So yeah, I just have soft boxes. And honestly, with light modifiers, I feel like the industry is trying to sell us a lot of products, because then there's like this strip box, which is like the narrow, tall one, and then there's a small one, there's a round one, and there's all these kind of different types. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really, I don't know. I have one softbox, a collapsible one, round one. That's what I use, and I have been using for years, basically. Um, Skin color. Skin color is an interesting one. I'm struggling with that a little bit, and I found one interesting way, and I want to explain that to you, what I use. Well, first of all, skin color is not, there is not one good skin color, and every model or every person you shoot has to kind of fit that, because everybody has slightly different skin, right? But as a general rule, I found this. So you move your mouse here over a part of the skin, right? And then in Lightroom, that's a Lightroom specific thing. You see, look at this section here. We're under the histogram, right? So now I have my hand or the mouse here, and you see an RGB value. You see 85, 75, and 59. Okay, so it shows you the red, green, and blue value of the pixels underneath here, and obviously depending on where you go, it changes a little bit, right? And so 85, 75, 60.9. And I found, and that's true for almost every skin color that I'm dealing with, if you have a value, let's say here, 85, 75, 65, okay? So it's like whatever the first number is, the second number is 10 less, and the third number is 10 less again. So red has 85, green has 75, blue has 65. That, for some reason, always turns out to be a good skin color. Now, let me bring, actually, where were we? So, roughly 80, let me go back to something here. Roughly. So, roughly 85, 75, okay, 60, okay? Now I'm going to adjust the exposure down, okay? I'm going to bring it down to this. So everything gets darker, but the ratio between the RGB stays the same. So it's 65, 55, and 42.5, right? So see what I mean is like the red, green, and blue is always like 10. It's basically steps. Like red is a little more, 10 less, 10 less green, and then 10% less green, and then 10% less blue, right? So just always that's to me, I always found a good, realistic, natural skin color with that method, right? So it doesn't matter what your exposure are. Let's say bring it really down, right? So it's 33, 27, 18, still roughly that. I'm not saying it has to be exactly 10, 10, 10. It's just roughly, right? Because everybody has a little skin. But you can see, like, no matter what you're, oops, I changed that color. I shouldn't have done that. Go back as shot. There we go. So no matter what your brightness level is, you always go in, and now it's 87, 78, 63. So that is my method of finding a good, decent approximation for the skin color or the skin tones. So I could go a little bit bluer. I think it's a little warm. And now, roughly, yeah, a tiny bit. And when you do adjustments to the color temperature and tint, just very small adjustments. Don't do big ones. You'll see it right away. And then the other thing that I noticed with skin colors, especially if you edit the skin color, let's say you move in here, right? You zoom in and you edit and you make it perfect for the skin, and then you zoom out and then the rest looks kind of weird, you know? That's where the masks come in. You create one for the subject. Right? Actually, let me go back. Hold on. I got my portrait masks that I explained before. If you haven't been here, the masks is the tool that I'm using here is just presets. Basically, a preset is just something I've done before. Everything I've done, I save it as a preset, and then when I click on that preset, it applies all of these settings, all of these things to the next photo. So sometimes she's wearing a weird color, or the background has like is very green, like when you shoot outside, and it kind of tricks you or like creates an odd like counter color. So you pick the skin and then you do the adjustment on that one, and you're not affecting the rest. In general, for portraits, I try to do the neutral a neutral background. So in this case, it's kind of dark, so it doesn't really matter. But if I have a strong color, let's find something with a strong color here, like this one here. Actually, this is fine. Let me find something. All the colors in this, you can see, they were all pretty like muted, and like nothing is really screaming out. So maybe I don't really have an example. But like check out this wall. This was all part of the studio. Like I didn't bring in anything. That was all part of it. That's so cool. So sometimes, let me see if I can find one for this example that I just made up. Not really. Everything is so neutral here. Yeah. Maybe in this one, let's say I do the background, right? And I'm doing the saturation lower here. That tends to bring the attention back to the model. So what I've done here is I created a mask of everything but her, and then I bring the saturation down, way down, okay? So now, like the wood has just very little color. I don't know. It's probably not the best example here because I feel like, hold on, this is just fine. But if you have trouble with an environment or background that has a lot of colors, it really helps to bring the attention back to the model if you desaturate everything around them. The other thing you can do is you make it a little darker. That makes her pop a little more, right? And then the other thing that I do is like here, and it's called effects, which I think is not the right description. Texture is kind of fine detail. Clarity is kind of medium-sized detail. And then dehaze is like large detail. That's how I describe it. And if you bring those down, that again helps a little bit to bring her out more than over the background. Let's get back to our first photos. I want to start from there and then make my way down. I think we were somewhere here. Yes. Cool. That stare always gets you. Very cool. Honestly, I'm not gonna edit much on this one. I love it the way it is. That's just really cool. Someone was asking me the other day if I use, when I crop, if I use certain aspect ratios for prints and stuff. Actually, no. I just use like whatever I feel like works great for that, like for that specific photo. Whatever looks good, and that's my that's my crop. Let me get rid of this thing. Kind of bothers me. Cool. And then what I would probably do here on this one is these tiny little hair that go against general direction of the hair. It just cleans it up a little bit. I don't think it's bad, but I think without it, it looks a little bad. There's one hair kind of that goes across here. That helps a little bit. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Honestly, for this one, I would bring, in this image, maybe fix the reflection in the eyes. It looks like a cut. Oh, let's see. That's a good point. Let me zoom in. Yeah, you see a little bit the window here. The window reflects. Yeah, I think it's okay. I know what you mean. I've actually had that. That's actually funny that you mention it. I've had that in a photo where I had like a neon light or whatever, and it was like reflecting. It looked like a razor cut in her eye. It looked so weird. I had to edit it because it was physically correct. It just looked weird, you know. But yeah, I get your point. It does look a little odd. Let me zoom in. What do you think now? Does it still, what? No, not like this. Maybe like this. What do you think? Still look like a cut, or is that okay? What do you think? Great contrast with the eyes and t-shirt. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. When you pick you pick outfits for a model, a lot has to do with the color of their eyes. What works well with that. And for this session, I told them, our mom, like, bring whatever you like, you know. I wanted very simple stuff. I didn't want elaborate outfits. I want very simple stuff because I didn't want to make it about the outfits, but about her. So, and they pick the colors they like. And usually I guess if you're a girl or a woman, you pay attention to that. Like, you look yourself in the mirror and see if it works. But yeah, it does work really well with her eye color. That's really good. Can you find things in the background to add really cool stuff in the eye reflection? Yeah, sure. Yes. Do you have a makeup artist? For those who don't know what MUA, makeup artist, that's the short form for makeup artist. Do you have a makeup artist on every photo shoot? Did you have to work hard to direct her to this expression? So basically 2 questions, good ones. Thanks. I didn't have a makeup artist here. The purpose of this session was very, very natural look. You know, that's why I didn't want elaborate outfits. I didn't want a background or a location that draws a lot of attention to it. And I told her no makeup, like literally no makeup. Normally, if you have a model, they will like, what? She's young, she has good skin. That worked for her, right? So you have to like, it depends, right? But even if she didn't have perfect skin, I can easily edit it and it looks more natural than trying to cover it up with makeup, with a lot of makeup to cover it, like, not the perfect skin you have, and you try to put too much makeup on, it looks just not good. That's just my opinion. So in general, if people don't have perfect skin, I like do as little makeup as possible. I fix it. It looks natural, more natural than trying to put like 2 inches of makeup over it. So, and then the second question, I have hard to work with her expression. No, not at all. She is actually a professional model, and not saying professional just as a cool word. She actually works as a model. She has an agent, and she's got an agency that helps her get commercial work. And she posts. You look at her Instagram. She posts about her work all the time. She does a lot of advertising and commercial stuff. So she's pretty professional. So you just tell her what to do and she does it. It was pretty easy. Oops, I lost my pen thingy here. Here we go. The little tip fell out of my pen and I got it. So yeah, with her, I just wanted to have more relaxed and natural look. I didn't want like certain. I didn't ask for certain expressions. I wanted her mostly to look relaxed, and sometimes I told her like do the model stare, the model look, which she's like, what? It's basically this look. I call it the model look, but mostly relaxed. That was my main goal. I wanted photos that look natural and relaxed for this session. Not always. Let's go through a few more here. Let me go back to this and see what else I did. I did this one here. And then each time I have a spot where I have them pose, I just like, do put your arm here, put your head this way, put your head the other way, like turn your back a little bit, look over your shoulder. I just tried different things because especially if I don't know someone, you know, you have to kind of figure out what looks good for them. I really like this, and then I cropped in, so this is a crop from the same photo basically. Looks really cool. I think in this one it is a little bit too orange. Those are small things that are probably you guys really don't see that much. And again, those are her eyes. I'm gonna edit this tiny little hair. I don't know if you guys can see that, but something that I like to do when hair goes a little bit into the face. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it doesn't help, I feel. Wow, that's beautiful pictures. Thank you, thank you. Well, I didn't really do much. She did the work. I just took the photo. Yeah, that's the cool thing about working with someone that is experienced, has experience as a model, has worked with a lot of photographers. They know how the camera sees things different than with the eyes. So she knows how to pose, how to angle herself, and she understands when I say like, hey, look to the right, she's not gonna do this and like just show me this. She's gonna just do a little bit, you know. Those are all things that you learn as a model as you work. When you do a close-up, you do small adjustments. If you do a full body, you do bigger adjustments. Those are things that, you know, an inexperienced model just doesn't know. If you tell her to do something, she might do way too much. And she's just a pro. She knows all these things. What I always do is, especially in the beginning of the session, almost after every pose they do, not every single photo, but every pose, I just go back and show them like, oh, okay. Just so they get an idea what the camera is actually seeing, what I'm going for. Oops. Yeah. And you know what? The camera has an eye focus, so it finds the eyes and focuses on them, but it's still focused on the eyebrows, so that's gonna be gone. And then here, this one's good. I hate when the eyes are not in focus. Cool. I like this one a lot. Usually I like a background that is very dark, but I feel like here it's almost too dark. So let's bring in my portrait setup here. And let's bring on the shadows a little bit here. Oh, this is good. Yes. So all I did is bring up the shadows a little bit. I'm going to adjust the colors just a little bit cooler. I'm going to use my skin tone method again. 66, 58, 44. Perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. Not gonna adjust it anymore. That's just really good. For those who haven't been here before, when I adjust skin colors, I move the mouse. Well, first of all, here you see this, the histogram right up here, right under the histogram. There's going to be 3 colors that appear. Once I move the mouse or the hand here over the skin, it shows me the values for red, green, and blue. And what I found works really well is that these 3 numbers that you see for red, green, and blue always have 10% difference. So the red is like in this case 63, green is 55, and then blue is 42. So roughly 10, 10, 10, right? And you can do that for different exposures, doesn't matter. It's just all three values are lower, right? So it's 28, 23, 15, roughly. It doesn't have to be exactly 10, 10, 10. Especially when it's very dark. Obviously, you can't have, whoops, wrong slider. There isn't that much, spectrum again. But for a normal exposed photo, usually that is the number I'm going through. I'm going by 61, 54, 41. So again, 10, 10, 10 difference. Cool. There's still a little bit of hair that I want to get rid of here. And if you have questions, let me know. I'm here to answer them if I can. And thanks for the hearts. And again, I didn't edit her eyes in this one. I know it looks like it. She has eyes like that. That's really crazy. Do you have a community somewhere, or are you just the one email for contact? Like a community in terms of like viewers and people that like to see my work? Definitely YouTube. That's my number one. I'm also on Instagram, and I'm a little bit on TikTok. I don't really spend time. I don't like TikTok. I mean, it doesn't work for me. I mean, it's kind of funny. I have 1.2 million followers on TikTok, but it's just, there's no community, I feel. Here on YouTube is probably my main thing. So I try to, and I'm gonna try to do, like, I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna try to do like a membership. I haven't really figured it all out, but that's where people who kind of want to interact more or want to see more content, I'm going to do that. But it's just like step by step. I'm not a big company with a lot of employees or something like that. So it's just all myself just doing it. And in the end, I love photography. I don't like to do a lot of other things. So yeah. But yeah, YouTube is probably my main hub. But if you want, you can email me. I only have so much time to answer emails. I get a lot. And mostly it's people ask me like, well, how do you do your videos? Oh, can you teach me this? And can you use like, nah, I'm not really the personal assistant of everybody that emails me. Great photo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, again, like, she is just a true professional. I always like to keep the head a little bit higher, so I'm going to crop it like this. That's really good. Touch brighter. Those small adjustments I'm doing here, I don't know how well they come across in the live feed. I'm going by my monitor. That's actually pretty good, but I don't know how much YouTube compresses and stuff like that. What's your experience been with agencies, elites in New York? Was there ever a time you did model testing? I'm curious about that. So good question. I haven't worked with a lot of agencies, and I noticed early on, like when I started a photography career, I tried to get like friendly with agencies, but I noticed I had very little success with that. And I know it wasn't my work. My work was good. I had lots of clients and people liked my photography work. So I know that wasn't the issue. And much later, I figured out agencies, I'm not saying all of them, but I guess many, you don't get in as a photographer or recommended photographer unless you give them a commission. Like it's a pay to play kind of business. It's not officially that way, but everybody knows it. And I didn't want to play that game. I'm not gonna pay someone to bring me clients. I already have clients, right? I didn't need that. It's cool to work for Ford Models or something like that, or be the recommended photographer, but I'm not gonna under the table pay someone for that. So I didn't have much success, and it took me a while to figure that out. So I'm like, nah, it's fine. I appreciate if clients, and I have done that over the years. They just find me and they hire me, and that's just the way it works. So I don't really need the agencies that much. But I had a lot of clients tell me, like, after I took photos for them and then they took the photos to the agent, They love them. So I know that my work is fine, you know. Pro photographer here. Agents are the worst in my opinion. These are always an angle with them. Um, I agree. Like, I don't know if it's the worst, but I know what you're saying. Again, like I didn't understand it at first that this is the game they play, and I didn't want to play it, and then I moved on. Honestly, that whole high end advertising business is a little bit about like playing, who what connections you have, and then pretending a little. I don't know. I just love the photography. I don't like the whole playing games and politics behind the bigger jobs. So whatever. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Again, like there's very good agents that bring a lot of work to the models and bring clients together. And so that's I'm not saying they're all bad or anything. I just didn't have much luck with them. Obviously, Liberty here, that's her name, by the way. And if you want to follow her, she's on Instagram. I pinned the comment up there. She's got a good agent, and she works a lot. She has a lot of jobs, commercial jobs. So yeah, again, like for these photos, when I saw them like in the camera, I was like, I'm not gonna have to do a lot of editing. This is perfect. I mean, this works out great. Again, this is all just some adjustments on the exposure, a little bit on the color. That's it. It's just perfect. Don't have to do much. Thanks. Many YouTubers suggest emailing agencies examples of your work to ask to test. I was curious how successful. Oh, um, so here's the thing. I'm okay. Like I'm a little more established. I've been doing this for many, many years. I have a big portfolio. I have a lot of followers on social media. My work's out there. I don't have to prove myself in a test. You know what I mean? So I had I had a client that was actually interesting years ago. It was a clothing company, and they reached out to me and they wanted me to take photos of their outfits and stuff and do a big model shoot. And then they were like, I gave them my price and I said, can you do some test shots first? And I'm like, no. I straight out said no. My work's out there. You've seen it. It's great. I send them I send them some high res photos, like full resolution photos of some of the photos, because social media is limited, right? So I showed them some full res photos of my work that are already done to see, like, okay, here, this is my quality. This is what you get, and if you don't like it, a test is not. All they wanted me is to work for free for one session, right? I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I know that's what they were doing, but on the other side, I didn't call them out on that. I just said, "Hey, here's my work. You've seen it on social media. That's why I reached out, and here's some high-res photos for you to verify that it's good enough quality for print and all of that." And then I got the job, right? And they hired me many times more. It was all good. Yeah, they try to like they try to squeeze something out, and photographers are often like, I wouldn't say desperate, but they really want it, so they're more willing to work for free, and then they get something free out of it. Like, I don't play that game. So yeah. And I feel like if someone is trying that on you, don't be like rude and call them out, like, because then you're not gonna. Then the bridge is burned. the bridge is burned. Just be nice about it. Just be firm, but be nice. I think that's always the best way to do it. All right, let's move on to a few more here. I was still at that window here, and I really like those. Oh, actually, I love this one here. Let's go back to this one. I love it. Actually, before I pick a photo, I always zoom in on the eyes. Make sure they're in focus. That's good. That's perfect. How about we do a black and white out of that one? First, I'm going to create my masks. For those who haven't been there, it's just a preset of all kinds of masks that Lightroom can do automatically, like hair, skin, the face, background, foreground. This time, this in this case, it's the subject, like the person, and then the two layers for or masks for eyes. I'm not doing anything yet. I just created these layers. Hi Jerry, thanks for coming. I was just gonna say black and white, certain exposure. Thank you. Yes, I know. So anyway, so yeah, so I create these masks just to have them. I'm not doing anything with them yet, right? So let's turn it to black and white. And then instantly what happens, and actually you can see that if we go back. If you look at the background, I hope you can see that on the live. It it almost makes it black, it like disappears, and here there's at least a little bit. So I feel like with black and white, the contrast is always a little too much. That's just me. I know a lot of photographers love the high contrast in black and white. I feel like it's a little too much. So I'm going to bring up the exposure just a bit, and I'm going to bring the shadows up a little bit too. So we're not losing the background here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the mask that has the hair, and I'm going to create down here under, it's called effects, which I think is a stupid description. It's not effects. It's detail. I would call it detail. But anyway, so I'm going to bring this up. Look at what happens here. Like how much the hair comes out. Like, I love that. It's great for black and white. It doesn't work so well for color, but for black and white, that's fine. And then the other thing I'm going to do with the hair, because I feel like here, it's kind of too dark. So I'm going to bring the shadows up a little more, maybe even the blacks. Yeah, I don't try to touch the black slider. See what happens? It looks very fake. If you use the blacks, that doesn't really work. So I try to use the shadows and do this. So here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me do a little bit of cleanup here. I don't like this here. It kind of looks distracting going across. So we're going to get rid of it. Same with this one here. These are fine. This one bothers me a little bit. We'll get rid of that one. By the way, guys, if you haven't been here from the beginning, this is a model session I did with Liberty. She's a well, I shouldn't say semi-professional. She's a professional. She gets a lot of jobs. She doesn't have a YouTube channel yet. I'm trying to get her on YouTube. But if you look in the chat at the top, I pinned my comment. That's her username on Instagram if you want to follow her. She posts a lot of her commercial work too. So that's why I'm saying she's a professional. She does get commercial work quite a bit. And she posts about it. It's really cool. Guys, don't forget to like the stream. Yes, thank you. I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. I really love this one. This turned out really good. And I love it in black and white. That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to attempt something and you guys can help the algorithm. Yes, I'm going to attempt something. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to test it together. See this arm? It's kind of like, it doesn't like, almost doesn't look like an arm. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm going to try to get rid of it and let's see how it looks. Maybe it's going to look stupid. Maybe it's going to look good. And I'm going to use generative AI because it does a better job in creating a nice transition from the original to the background or whatever you want to take out. All right, let's remove it. Liberty, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm removing your arm. Okay. And now it's gone. Okay. Now I have to crop a little tighter. How about this? Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yes. Yeah, that's very cool. What if I crop the bottom and the top a little bit like this? Just a little more. Yeah, I like it. So that's the original. See the arm? It doesn't help. It almost looks like, now if I look at it, it's like, where is that arm coming from? What the heck? You don't miss it at all, right? It could be just going down. Okay, that worked. Love it. Let's see, is there anything else you want to do here? There's really no skin editing whatsoever I have to do. And again, if you guys missed it, someone was asking me about makeup. She's wearing zero makeup because I told her not to. Not that I don't like it, it's just for this session, I wanted to get a very natural, relaxed look. And even if someone has some problems with their skin, if I edit it in Photoshop or in Lightroom, whatever, it still looks more natural than trying to put a lot of makeup on it and covering like problematic areas. So that's why I tell my models usually for portrait sessions, like, don't do makeup. And if you do, very, very light, just some foundation. That's it. Cool. I like it. I like it. Yes. Now this one turned out good. I'm pretty happy with this one. Loading, loading. Guess my computer is slow today. Don't know why. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We're still at this first window. You know, as I said before, I try to make them look different directions. Lean on the hair, turn your head like sideways. I try different things because I don't know what looks the best. You just have to try things. All right, and then I moved the chair closer to the window and had her sit in it. And I like this one. This is good. This is good. I think I started editing this one already. Let's do a little more here. It's a touch too warm, I can tell. 80, 70, 60. Here again, like the three numbers you see up here. Watch this area up here. If I move the mouse over her skin, so it's 79, so almost 80, 70, almost 60. So that's the perfect ratio for between red, green, and blue for skin. 80, 70, 60. Or if it's lower, the exposure, then it's 50, 40, 30, something like that. Doesn't matter really about the exposure. So here we go. That's good. Again, we are going to, and it's funny that I do this usually when I do the background in portraits. I always make it darker because I want to make the model stand out. But in this case, I'm going to brighten it up a little bit. Yes. Because otherwise it's too dark. And then the hair here is a little too dark. So I'm going to create a mask just for the hair. Brighten it up. Shadows. Much better. Yes. Weird. If I try to go to full screen, it doesn't do it. That's so odd. Let's go to 100%. Go to full screen. Ah, here we go. I guess it was best because when you select the portrait preset, it seems to do something. Yes, it's true. It does a little bit. That is true. Actually, let me turn it off. Good point. Let me turn it off. I can turn those off here. How about this? Tink, tink. Here we go. So yeah, this is the natural eyes. What I do is I bring them up a little bit, like eyes brighter. So here's the difference. Let me show you. This is with and this is without. It's very little. It's subtle. So I'm not doing much with the eyes here. I think I'm doing, let's see, where is the subject? No, I'm not doing anything on that. Oh, I upped the contrast a little bit, right? And that, if the eyes has a little dark area in it, it gets a little too dark. Let me bring this back to 0. Cool. Yeah, but it's a good point. Yeah, I have a saying that's a tiny little bit. Let me see how much it is actually here on those eyes. 0.15 exposure value and a little bit of shadow. So like I want something that's a little too dark to just be brightened up a little bit. And I bring the texture up. Texture is fine details, so it's kind of like sharpening, so I do that a little bit. Yes. Um, I don't know. You guys tell me if I'm wrong, but if I see portraits where I know they've been running through like a lot of editing and the eyes like really really pop, I'm like, okay, that's overdone. I don't know. I always feel like this just doesn't look natural. By the way, you can look on, if you look on Liberty's Instagram, she works with another photographer that does very elaborate editing and elaborate outfits and stuff like that, almost like, I wouldn't say fairy tale, but like they themed, they have like a certain theme to it. And she does a lot of editing and she looks different. I don't think it's bad. I'm just, that wasn't the purpose for this session here. All right, let's go back to this one here. I like it. Zoom out a little bit. And so let me copy paste these settings to the next one. So what you do, you select one, you shift select the next one, and then you do shift command S, which means sync. And then you can sync all the settings from this photo to this. So everything I done here will automatically be applied here. Ta-da! What I want to do is make it black and white. Yes, love it, love it. This one could be a little more. This is good. Actually, let me go in here. Erase, small. I painted a little too much here. There's a bright edge that bothered me. There we go. Okay. And let's bring on the background a little bit. There we go. And the hair, we're going to bring up two shadows a little bit. And I always like to do this, the clarity just on the hair. Very cool. I like it. Touch brighter overall. Good. So now we have a color version and a black and white version. Nice. Cool. What do you guys think? Good? Yes? No? Delete? Okay. It's funny. I have a friend who's, thank you, certain exposure. I have a friend that I shoot with every once in a while, and we look at each other's, cameras, the LCD when we take photos and stuff. And then if someone has a good photo, the other one usually is like, delete that, that's too good, you can't have that. All right, let's move on a little bit here. Let's find our next. Yes, she's smiling. That's a good one too. Let's edit that one. I made her look a lot of, I had her do mostly like serious looks, but she's got a good smile. Let's do a happy one as well here. Let's do the skin tones first here. Again, I'm going over the skin somewhere and I'm reading the numbers from here. So it's 80, 70, 60. Perfect. That's good. That's a perfect ratio for skin. 80%, 70%, 60%. Perfect. Cool. See how this eye is a little bit dark from like the light's coming from her left side, from this side here. So I like to brighten that up a little bit. Let's do the portrait one. Yeah, it has a little bit. Let me show you. This is the after. This is the before. This is the after. So yeah, I'm brightening the eyes a little bit, but I feel like it's still it's true to her real look. Okay, let's see. There's one out of focus hair going across here. We're gonna get rid of that. The stray here, hair, we can get rid of that. Not gonna spend too much time on little details. I might do that later on. It's a little boring for you guys to watch. I'm gonna try focusing on the main things. One thing I don't like, how it's like dipping into like complete black here. The hair, like the brightness. So I'm gonna go in here, and the same is true here. If I brighten this up a little bit, I think it helps. What do you guys think? Yeah, it just helps. Cool. Background a little brighter again. Just makes a photo more friendly if you have the background, like if it's dark, it's more dramatic, and if it's a little brighter, it makes it a little more happy. I like it. Very cute. Very cute. Awesome. Make sure it's picked. All right, let's try to find a few from... Oh, I did a black and white version of that one too. Oh, I didn't do a finished version of that. That's not good. That's nobody saw that, okay? Okay. We got the serious look again. Love it. Let me go through a few more because we went to a different spot. This is still the same. Ooh, I like that one. This is still the same window. The same window position that I did, that we started with. Ooh, I kind of like this one here. She fell asleep. No, she didn't. I told her to close her eyes here and there. Sometimes it's just an interesting take on a portrait. Like if you find something that you like, you got a good moment, a good angle and everything, and then you just have them close their eyes for a moment. Sometimes it's a good photo too. I know you're missing the eye, so obviously that's kind of an important thing, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I like to do that. If I have something that I like, a good portrait, then I'm like, close your eyes for a moment, I take a few just in case. I like this one too. These are good. Oh, okay. So this is the couch he was just sitting on, so just go behind it. I really like that. Playing with the arms here. Very cool. Let's edit this one. Here we go. Let's start with the most obvious, to me at least. I like to get rid of these things. Flyaway hairs. Very cool. There's a little bit. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. I'm just editing. Let's do my portrait setup again. Yeah, I think what I've done, and I need to adjust it for everything. The background by default is a little darker in my preset because usually that's what I want for portraits. But here, the key light was so bright that the background was already too dark, I would say. Ooh, I like this. This is good. This is starting to look really good. What do you guys think? I really like it. Let's fix the skin. 54, 46, perfect. Yes, perfect. Perfect ratio. Excellent. Nothing to do here. Did they come to you to get portraits done, or did you hire a model for the job? This one was a collaboration, basically. So I wanted to get a few portraits done, and so I reached out, and then they were happy to do that. And I specifically picked her because she worked a lot of jobs. I know she could do take directions well and things like that. But I just picked this to edit today. But I've got lots of other portrait sessions that were just regular, just like my normal clients where they just come to me and hire me. So that's usually what I do. This particular session was a collab. So what else do I want to do on this one here? You know what? Let me get rid of this one. And then you can see a little more. Is that better? You see a little more here? Okay. So I think the hair needs a little bit. It's kind of too dark on these areas. Okay, let's zoom out. And brightness. Yes. Okay, very good here. Let me show you the with and without it. It's not huge, just gives it a little more detail here. There we go. I feel overall we could go a little brighter. And look, all this furniture, this old furniture was all in that studio. That was perfect. I didn't have to bring anything. I prefer those studios over this typical white empty room that you get for a studio because there's nothing. This was basically an old building with old furniture in it, beautiful windows, beautiful walls. And I had to do is just come in and find a cool angle and everything worked. It was awesome. That was really good. I like this one. This is, yeah, I really like this one. This turned out good. Let's see, did I do a few variations here? I did. Just going through these real quick here. These are all not edited yet. I'm just looking through them. Again, I didn't set up any light. This was all window light. No light at all. And I know what some of you might think is like, oh, on this side, on her right side, camera left, a little edge light would have helped. But I didn't want to do this. I didn't want it to look like the typical portrait light with a key light from one, little edge from here, and all of that. I wanted basically a one light natural setup. Let's see. Did I make a black and white out of one of those? No, I didn't. Let's do that. Let's pick a black and white for this one. This one is good. Let's do a black and white. Nice. And as always with black and white, at least in my opinion, they turn out too contrasty. So I'm gonna bring in my masks. And go to the background and bring that up a little bit. That's good, that's good. There we go. Hair could use a little bit of like that, just a little bit, not too much. This adds a little contrast or detail to the hair. I like that too, especially for the black and white one. What else could I do? Anybody, any ideas on this one? What should I do other than the flyaway hair? Yeah, it's a little wild, like my hair today. Yeah, I should probably fix that. There is a lot that I could fix here. I'm not going to do all of it. It's kind of boring for you guys to see. Just, I'm going to do a few and then you can see what the difference is. Let's see, yeah, a little bit here. I don't want the hair to be perfect, but if there's too many like going across, it kind of looks distracting. Especially if it's big. What about Sin City style, black and white, red? Ooh, selective color. You know, it's actually funny. I was watching Sin City the other day again after so many years. Sin City has, I mean, it's like the graphic novel style, that look, right? Yeah, it's not the look I was going for here, but I could go into Photoshop and do selective color and stuff like that. It's usually not my favorite, but I see it could work on these. It could work. Maybe I'll try it. Yeah, maybe I'll try it. I like this. This is good. I love it. All right, let's move on to a different. Ooh, what's that one? That's a good one. Nice. Let's see. I think I just cropped this one here, right? Yeah, I did. Crop it a little more. Ooh, this is good. Oh, no. Perfect, perfect. Touch of hair removal here. Hair removal. That sounds funny. Sin City style. That's funny. I like it. The worst is when hair goes right through the eyes like this. Ugh, this was always. I mean, now with the tool, the remove tool that Lightroom has, it actually works pretty well. It didn't always work, like especially the beginning of Lightroom. It was very, very bad. That was very difficult to remove. I hated that. Now it works a little easier. Yeah, I'm doing things that nobody will see later on, but I'm gonna do them anyways here. They bother me. All right, let's zoom out. Okay. Background, a little brighter, right? Should I do that? Yes, we should. Portrait. Remove. Okay. Background. Brighter. Yes, we want to see at least a hint of the background, not just pure black. That's my point. There's not much to do here. I didn't check the skin color. The skin tones, let's do that. Let's do my standard 76, 68, 55. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Yeah, I like it. Black and white's good too. I should do two. I should do a black. Whoops. Oh my god. I hit the auto button. That is funny. Actually, that's funny. Let's do that just for the fun of it. In some of the shots, her hair, where's her right eye seems sharper than the left one. Is that easy to fix? Intentional depth of field. Good question. So I'm shooting with a 50 or 85 millimeter, and I'm shooting usually with an f2 or 2.8. If you do a close up like that, the depth of field just is that way, that one eye is in focus and the other one isn't. Especially if the face isn't facing the camera perfectly. If it's like this eye is just a little closer than this eye. So it's just what happens. I know. I'm not really bothered by it, but if you zoom in like this, like if this was a crop, I feel like this eye should be in focus. The only thing you can do is stop down and have more depth of field, but then you're also losing the depth of field of the background, which I don't know if you want to compromise on that. It depends. Like, you have to look at the photo and try. I usually try to keep very shallow depth of field, even for portraits. I don't mind the eye a little bit out of focus, but I get your point. A lot of people don't like it. We wanted to make another one, so we're going to take this and we're going to select this and we're going to sync the settings. So everything I've done to this will be copied over to this photo. Ting. Okay. So basically we have the same settings, and now we're going to do the black and white. Ooh, and I like it a lot. Yes. I like it a lot. By the way, there isn't just one black and white version. If you click on the black and white, so if you think about what black and white is, it uses red, green, and blue. You have three color channels, and you condense it down to a single one, just gray, you know. But which color gets converted how much, that depends, and there is different ways you can do it, and that's what this black and white mix panel here does. You can say, hey, I want the red to have a bigger portion basically, and you can use these sliders and adjust it. And this basically means, like, take more of that color for the black and white rather than the other one, or more brightness. So let's say the red ones, I want the black and white conversion to use less red. So what happens? Her lips get dark, right? Because the lips are red naturally. So by using these sliders, and there isn't like a specific setting that gets you a better or worse result. It's just a matter of what do you like, right? And like orange is usually what the skin tones are. So using that slider, you can adjust how bright the skin becomes. Blues, it's just her shirt a little bit. There's almost nothing. And magenta, there's nothing in this photo magenta. So no matter what I do with the slider, it doesn't really have an effect, right? And again, like, that can be different for each photo. That's why there's so many sliders. You can adjust the settings specifically for each color when you convert to black and white. For portraits in general, you want to favor a little bit the warmer colors, like the red, the orange here. Make those a little higher. Just makes it a little more, I don't know, works better for portraits, I feel. Cool. So we got a really pretty color version, and we got a really pretty black and white version. What do you think? Good? Acceptable? Barely acceptable? Let me do a little bit of clean up here. Thanks, Jerry. I hope this helps someone if you guys do photography. And let me know if you have questions about anything else photography related. I'm happy to share. Okay, hair, more hair. Again, I'm only doing a few things here just so you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. If this is a photo I want to like print out big or something, like I have a hero shot, what is considered a hero shot, I would spend a little more time on all the little details and make sure I get everything right. But for this one here, I'm just gonna do the basics. I really like it. Very cool. What do you guys think? Black and white. There's a stray hair over her right eye, just below the brow. Right eye. Dang, you saw that. Nice. Nice catch. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Oops. There we go. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. There we go. See how that brush does a really good job? It recreates like the texture underneath, so I really like that. Okay. So black and white version, color version. Black and white, color. I like both. I really like both. I don't have a favorite. I really like both. All right. Let's find our next one. Again, I have 2,500 photos here. Oh, here's, by the way, here's oh, not this one. This one we can delete. So this one I had her look up. Whoops, not that close. Let me zoom in here. Just so you can see her expression, right? And then I had her close her eyes for a moment. And I feel like this is actually really cool. It's just like a, hold on. I picked one, I made it black and white. It's just like a serene moment. I don't know. I kind of like it. I didn't really fully edit it, but I kind of like the idea of just like a, see what I mean? Like, it's basically the same moment, but like a little, let me edit this a little bit actually. I'm not quite happy with it. Background could be a little brighter. The hair could be a little brighter. It's too much. This one's a little too much. Black and white can be tricky. I feel like here I need to edit a little bit more of the hair. A little crazy here. But I love her look. It's just pretty. What do you guys think of the closed eye moment versus the regular one? I kind of like it. It's cool. Oh, the contrast. Let me bring this one back down here. And this one, the shadows. There we go. Yeah, let me know what you think. I kind of like it. Oh, now move the camera basically a little bit to the side. So the window is kind of like almost behind her now. So we're getting less light in her face. It's still enough. Let me edit this because this is kind of cool. I like it. Let me see what else I have. I have a few here. Do I like this one here? I like this one here. This is the first one. I really like it. Okay. So now her light on her face isn't directly from the window, but what happens is the bounce light from the room gets to light her up, and that's mostly wood, so it's way warmer than the other. Let me fix that hair first before we move on. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Let's start over. Sorry. I accidentally moved the whole brush instead of... Okay. Yeah, that's better. There's a little bit here. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Nice. Cool. Let's bring this up a little bit. Brightness. And now it's a little too warm. Let's go and see what the numbers are. 43, 32, 18. It's actually not that far off. But it's a little too warm. Here we go. 41, 30, 20. Here we go. Now it's perfect. 40, 30, 20. Excellent. Of course, now the light from the window looks a little bit too cold. So maybe we'll go in between. Compromise. I don't know how much you can see on that on the live stream. The colors are just like, that's subtle differences, so we'll see. Ew, what is that? Let's get rid of this one here. Okay, it's gone. This one's gone. All right. Cool, I like it. This is a little bright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a mask just for her arm and adjust the highlights down like this. Here we go. Let me just show you what this done. Just the arm, a little bit less bright. The eye is always drawn to a brighter area, so if you have like her arm here and it's too bright. What was that? It was just, I know. It was just a hair. So yeah, if something is really bright, that draws the eye to it, like the attention. So I don't want too much attention on the arm. That's just not the main focus on the picture here. There's more ear here. Someone pointed out. No, it's just the hair here. So like this. I like to get rid of these things that go across the rest of the hair. There we go. All right, let's bring in my portraits preset. Okay, nice. I feel like the eyes are a little too much. We're going to turn this one off here. I like it a lot. That's very cool. What if we try the background and make that less saturated? Yeah, I think that helps. What do you guys think? Again, it's subtle things, but I like it. And I wonder if I can take this one even further down, the arm. Yes, like this. Cool. Yeah, I like it. What if I crop it a little more low, like this? I think that helps. There's no right or wrong. You just, whatever you like, obviously. But especially with a crop, I feel like you can change so much. Okay, cool. What else do we have? Do we have a black and white version of that one? I think we do. We have a winner. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. It's funny. I already did a mask for the arm here. Same thing I did for the other photo. A lot of times when I do AI images, like I like to use a bokeh effect instead of depth of field. Do you have that in photography too? Oh, you like the color one? Okay, cool. So actually, let me show you. There is a tool in Lightroom where you can do that. Let me see if I can. I need a photo that has a little depth to it. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, so here, okay, there is a tool, lens blur. Okay, it's going to take a little bit because it's doing a lot of calculation. What it does is it tries to recreate the depth of the photo, and then you can blur out the background, like more than it actually is. In this photo, you won't see. Man, great photo. Thanks so much. Certain exposure. So if you see, I'm going to do an after and before. See the difference? So it takes the background and blurs it out. Like it creates more black depth of field. By the way, the word bokeh is I think it's basically, I think it's from Japanese. It means blur, or yeah, that's what it means. So we just adapted it in photography to describe not the amount, but the quality of the blur. That's what bokeh is. So if a lens has good bokeh, it means the out of focus areas are nice and soft. That's basically what it means. So if you tell AI to do that, it just, I don't know what exactly it does, depends on the model. But anyway, so yeah, Lightroom has this, and it's kind of funny. It uses some AI or whatever it uses to figure out what is the subject and what is behind it. We as humans can look at the photos like, oh yeah, she's sitting on a sofa here at a chair, and behind her the background is further away. But so it automatically creates a mask or something, and it blurs out the background. And you can adjust the amount. It's more useful for photos that you've taken like with a wide angle lens or with a phone where you don't really have a lot of depth of field. And then you can boost it more and stuff like that. Honestly, I never use this one. I just leave this off. I do everything in camera with the lenses that I pick. So yeah, but yeah, that is part of the software. In my model, it often adds like blurry lights, blobs, almost like blurry bubbles. Yeah, honestly, actually, good example. AI is trained on professional photos for the most part. So let me go back to the shot that I saw. There's so many here, like this one here, right? See, like the chandelier in the background. When I zoom in, it's just blurry blobs, And so the AI was trained on photos like these, and it just creates these blurry blobs in the background. I think a tick. Yeah, this one. So this is shot with the 85. You can see that's the same chandelier. All it is just blobs. But that is natural. That is what lenses do. So the AI isn't wrong in that way. Let's go back to the ones that we were at. Let's see. Wonderful shot. Thank you. Thank you. I'm still trying to find that shot that we just edited. No. Oh. We're still at the window. Let's move on from the window. We've done enough of the window. Oh, yeah, we were here, right? Oh, we had these two. Exactly. This one and this one. All right, cool. What else did I have here? Oh, yeah, we did this one. We've done a black and white version of this one, which I really like. That looks good, right? Maybe here. This one I could edit out. Tiny little things I need to fix, but really nothing. I don't mind this. This is fine. This one I'm going to get rid of. Okay. Love it. Very good. Again, the point of this session was to be natural, right? It wasn't about like getting a glamour shot or anything like that. It was just natural moments. That was basically it. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, what else do we have? Ooh, I like this one here. That's cool. Let's go to the color version first. Yeah, let's do a black and white version. Here we go. I did eyes. Let's do the portrait. Background. Not as dark, please. Contrast a little too much. Oh, I adjusted the highlights down a little bit on this one. Okay. Let's bring it back. not sure. Let's see. Do I like color or black and white better on this one? I kind of like the warm colors of this one. What do you guys think? Oops, not this. Not that much. Yeah, I like color. I mean, it's cool, the black and white. I like color on this one. A little too warm. That's a good one. I like it. And it's just all natural light. Didn't have to set up any lights. Let's find a different spot. We've done a lot at this. Ooh, actually, these are good. So in this one, the window was to her left, camera right. And then I thought, all right, we'll turn it around. So she was sitting in the sofa was facing the window, and she turned the camera back, turned her head back to the camera. So I got these here, and I really like them. I had to change the angle a little bit. Oh, this is cool. Here we go. I want one where she's looking at the camera, though. Sometimes the camera's supposed to focus on the eyes that's closer to it, but oops, not this one. Look up a little bit. Trying to find her. Here we go. I think we got a good angle. Here we go. Yes. I had to try to find a few different ways to get her angle and her arm and everything. Kind of like this one. Now the background's way too dark. Let's invoke my masks again. Background. Oh, it's very dark. Look, I'm bringing the background up more than 3 stops, and there's barely anything showing. And we see this transition doesn't look good. I think I'm gonna be out of a background in this one. It is what it is. Touch brighter. No. Trying to find the right color. Let's see. 70, 60, 50. It should be a little bluer. Like this. Black and white it is. Black and white it is, yes, for sure. Yeah, I like that better than color. What do you guys think? I mean, I do like the color, but I think this shot is dramatic. It needs to be black and white. Let's fix some hair here. It's not a lot, but a little bit. Ta-da! Oops, why did it bring in an extra one? Okay. Looks a little better. Dang, look at those eyes. Crazy. Yes. Even though you can't really see about anything about the background, I really like it. That makes it actually more interesting. Where's the hair? Is there anything I can bring out here? If I do it too much, it looks totally fake. So I have to be careful. Maybe a little bit shadows. A touch here. Not much. Hello, David. Good afternoon. Hello, Siberius. thanks for coming here. Yeah, I like this. This is good. Gonna try to brush a little light into this one here, the chair. Yeah. the contrast was really bright on this, really strong on this one. Let's see if I can bring in a touch from here. Nah, this doesn't look, it doesn't help at all. Let's delete it. But what I can do is I can take the arm here and bring it a little bit lower. That helps, yes. All right, enough on this one here. Oh, here she turned a little more. I like that one. That's probably even the better version. Let's crop it a bit. Here we go. Yes, that's better version. I like that better than the other one. Let's fix the hair a little bit. Ah, okay. There we go. Yes. Let's keep this in color and do the same that I did in the other one. Let's just bring this one up a little bit. Probably more shadow than anything. We'll see this. And the hair. Let's create a mask just down here. No, that wasn't it. Let me create a separate mask. Here we go. This is just for the hair. Shadows. Yeah. Ooh. Such a dramatic look, huh? Let me check the colors real quick here. Skin tones, 68, 58, 44, good. Tiny dark, a little bit cooler. 61, 51. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. That's a keeper for sure. Okay, what did I do here? I probably had an idea here. Maybe it's just me, but I'm doing a bunch of hand gestures to imagine crops and cuts and sometimes focus specific parts of the image. Must be pretty stupid. No, that's exactly what you should do. I think that's exactly what, you know, when I take a photo, I don't always know exactly how I'm going to crop it. Hi, Eva. I don't know how to crop it, and I don't try to crop everything in camera perfectly because I don't know what the composition is. I mean, like, there's so many photos that, like, I'm shooting roughly like a portrait here, right? But what if I crop it actually the opposite, like this, right? And I do something like that, maybe a little more cinematic scope kind of thing. You know, that's kind of a cool thing. Maybe a little more to the side, you know. I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm playing around with different crops and see what works. You know, I don't have everything. I feel like when I take photos, I don't want to make all the decisions, so I'm going to shoot a little wider and then I crop in. Do you do male photo shoots? Yes, whatever. Whoever hires me. I've done a lot of males as well. Absolutely. I do a lot of dancers and gymnastics, and it's just more of a, you know, there's probably more females than males, especially in dance. You know, that's basically my main thing. So there is less of them. I like the light. I think I was mostly intrigued by the light on this shot. I didn't really know how to compose it yet, so I just shot it. Let's see. Contrast. I'm not sure about this one, honestly. What about in black and white? Eh. And sometimes if I like a photo, if I don't like a photo, I don't try to like fix it. Oh, cool. I'll message you. Yeah, feel free. My email is in my link somewhere. If I don't like a photo, then I'll just move on and maybe come back to it, because not everything works out. Maybe I have a better idea a little bit later on. Like, how about I straighten this out, the crop? Actually, I like that a lot. That's good. See, we went from this to this, and now we're gonna go with bring the shadows down a little bit. I need my masks again. Ooh, cool. Let's do one. I like to do that, like one big brush, and then use that as a fill light. Look at that. It looks like a fill light, right? Dang, that's awesome. Painting with light. Ooh, actually, I like that a lot. It's a little too bright. Where is that mask? This one here. It's a little too much. Here we go. Ooh, this is cool. This turned out good. Yeah, sometimes you just play with a photo until you like something pops in your mind creatively. So here we go. Yeah, there's literally no editing on her I have to do. Just like the hair a little bit. Nothing here. Maybe this hair. We're going to get rid of this one here. This goes a little too far, right? And whatever I just created here. Well, once you start, it gets like worse. All right, good enough. Yeah, I really like it. I really like this one here. Okay, we'll pick this one. Oh, here's another one. I think I did that already. Some other point. Oh, that's cute. I had no idea what to do with her in this. I just love the light. That was kind of my. Let me go back here. So I just had her stare at the light basically, and then like, okay, what can I do with this? And like, put your arms like this, you know. And it turned out really good. I actually like it a lot. Here, black and white version. This down here is a little too bright. So we're going to tone it down like this. There we go. Yeah. Cool. The thing is, if you have something bright, it's just a thing that our eyes do, or brains, is like whatever is the brightest thing in the photo will draw the attention to it, right? So you don't want to have something that's not that important, like down here where her arms or her elbows are. It's just that was what happens, you know. And so just by bringing it down a little bit, your eye isn't as drawn to it as much, and you're automatically looking here. Just seeing these little curls here, these extra curls, we're going to get rid of them. Basically what all of this is here is just eliminating distractions, you know. It's not bad, it's nothing wrong. It's just a distraction. That's what it is, right? If there is something that the eye is looking at, like why is there a curl, whatever, go. And it's gone. Now this is all black. Let's bring this up a little bit here. Oh, there's not much definition here. Okay. Well, a little bit. Now it's not completely black. It has some definitions. Good. I like it. What do you guys think? Keeper? I think it is. I might do a color version later as well. This is a good black and white version. I know that for sure. Yes, see? Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, it's out of focus. I mean, not out of focus. It's camera shake. Let me zoom back a little bit. This one's a good one. Okay. Take the settings from here, put them here, sync. And this is our keeper. Let's do the crop first. This needs a little brushing here. You know what you are doing? Very nice. Thank you, Henry. I try. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and then you try a lot of things over the years, and then like, oh, okay, this works or this doesn't work, and then. But there's still a lot of things that I you know, when I take the photo, I don't know, I don't have all the answers. How about that? So I just take a bunch, and then I try to make it really work, rather than. Yes, that the black and white is perfect for this lighting. Sorry that I'm moving up and down here. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm gonna get rid of these little things here, the hair and stuff. Cube. Let's see. Again, just small distracting things. Let's get rid of them. Guess this is fine. Here I don't mind that it goes all to black. That's fine. It's supposed to. Still gonna edit a little bit at the bottom. Gonna take down the exposure a bit here. I'm basically making it darker so you pay attention to the upper side a little more. Nice. That's a good crop too, huh? I should try that. So let's take this, copy it over to this one. Wait, this one as well. So I'm copy pasting it here, and then I'm going to do a different crop. We're going to do a horizontal one. A little straighter. How about that? Not sure. What about I go this way? It looked better in my head before I did it. What if I go like this? Yeah, this has something. Tiny little thing here. I kind of like this one better. Yeah, this one it is. That's good. All right, did I ever take any photos other than this window? Ooh, this one's a good one. These are cool. I already picked this one. Let me double check here. Yes. Henry, you say yes to what? The other crop, right? The wider crop. Ooh, I already made this black and white. Okay, now I know what I was doing. Okay. Wow, this turned out good. I like it. Trying to figure out what else I can do on this one here. I think the only thing that needs is this area is a touch too dark here. This is good. Other than that, I like it. It's the original crop. Oh, I shot it horizontal. The last crop. Okay. Yep, I agree. Just going through, they almost look the same, but here's another black and white. Kind of like the other one better. Not that I dislike this, but oh, there's a smile again. Okay, try a different crop out of this one here. Yeah, it's okay. Not my favorite. Let's see if we can find something a little more interesting. Oh, I tried to do this one again, like a blink. Oh, this is good. Okay, we can do something out of that. How about that? How come you don't hook up that computer to a larger monitor with an even better color accuracy than the ISO color edge? I'm working off my MacBook Pro, and that one has a pretty good color. I'm actually going by that. All right, this is good. Usually that's the first thing I check to make sure that it actually is like the eyes and the face is in focus. Sometimes you look at a photo from like this, oh, this is a good pose, I like it, and then oops, it's a little blurry from camera shake or something. Little flyaways. This one we get rid of. There's a tiny little reflection coming off the tooth. I'm going to get rid of it. There we go. Okay, good. Now let's, no, not undo. Let's separate the background out a little bit. Preset. And I think here we can try the thing where we desaturate the background. Because I'm not sure the background color helps really. Or I could make it bluer. Desaturate. One or the other, not both. Okay, let me check her skin color real quick. What do we have? 58, 48, 43. A little too warm. Just a touch. 57, 59, 56. That's good. Okay. That's a good one. Let's crop it a little bit. Oh, did I undo this one? I guess I did. Let's bring that one back. Yes. I do like it, but it's not my favorite. I think mostly because it's just very plain. What if I bring the shadows down a little bit? That helps. Yeah, not the most exciting shot. Let's move on. Wait, let me flag it though. What if I make that one black and white? Does it make it more interesting? Maybe. Not really. Let's find a better one. Coming back to some close-ups. Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. I like that one a lot. That's a good one. It's weird seeing you edit normal photos without any insane bending happening. I know what you mean. Yeah. I know, just normal people standing on both feet, right? Which dancers almost never do. Okay, all I did is black and white. Let's do the opposite with the background here. Background. We're gonna make it this, and we're gonna add contrast to it like this. Go all out on backdrop, on drama. Here we go. This is good. Did you use an 85 and 50 prime or was it a zoom? This one was actually exactly with those two lenses, 85 and 50. Let me just check which one was that one. That was the 50. Yep. Oh my God. You know what's the most embarrassing thing? Well, I don't know if it's the most embarrassing, but it was. So I shot this one with my new ZR. I had a 50 on that one, and at the Z9 I had an 85 on it. So I was switching back and forth, and for some reason I had this camera set up to shoot JPEG and not RAW files. So all of these are JPEGs. Thank God the light was pretty good. I don't have to do too much editing. But yeah, shooting in JPEG, oh, that's a big fail. Okay. Oh, I like this one. Let me see if I can do a color version of the same look, but as a color version. Let's copy paste it. And we're gonna go with color. All right. Oh, it's in JPEG. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get good color on this one, honestly. With JPEG, there's only so much you can do. Let me try, but I doubt it's going to look good. JPEG just doesn't have the information to do a lot of accurate color adjustments. I guess it's okay. Not gonna even try to do too much because I know it's not gonna look good. That's for sure. That's too bad. Ooh, the dramatic look again. Yeah, for portraits, I never shoot zoom. I always shoot primes. I just like the shallow depth of field. Looks really good. So the 50 is a 1.8 and the 85 is a 1.2. So as much as I can get in terms of depth of field. No, the opposite. As little as I can get depth of field. Okay. XX Juan. XX Juan. Hello, hello. Thanks for coming. All right, let's get the colors on this one right. This was shot with a, this is a raw file again. I think I can get this right. You see it, the numbers, 56, 47, 30, perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm happy with this. Portrait masks. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon. Where are you? Which part of the world? Oh, the eyes are too much. Let's take this one away. Here we go. And I feel like the background is kind of green. Let's put the, make that neutral. Less saturation. Here can have a little shadow. Nice. Ooh, I like that. I can make the hair look soft. Ooh, that's good. Oh, nice. Actually, I like this one a lot. Trying to find the right balance between fore and background exposure. Wow, yes. This is good. We're going to copy the settings to the other ones and use that as a reference. Where was I? Here, this one. And I'm going to do these one with the same settings here. Not the crop though. Replace. God, it's slow tonight. My computer is just tired, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this is good. And I just noticed, Sale City, Georgia, USA. Nice. On a farm in the country. Kirk Farm established 1912. Wow. Okay, that's quite a bit. Point of a larger monitor is you see more about the color accuracy. A Mac Pro is pretty good though. It's far from accurate as an ISO. Yeah. There's definitely better monitors than that. That's for sure. It's just how much money you want to spend, and then what's the difference between, because the MacBook Pro screen is pretty good. So yeah, there's better ones, but the cost versus benefit just gets lower and lower. So that's why I'm perfectly fine with it. The other thing is most of my clients, all they want is social media. So yeah. If you had a screen next to each other, you'd see a night and day difference. I'll try it out. I mean, I have a second monitor here, but the MacBook Pro is my main screen in terms of color accuracy. I was thinking about getting that. I mean, thinking about it. That Mac screen, they have a an actual separate screen. But I don't know how much that is, $4,000, $5,000. I'm like, no, I'm good. It's just not worth it for the work I do, you know. Like, there's no point in doing that. Oina's joining now, but it's great to see these portraits. It looks great. Thank you. So Paul, Paul's photos. Yeah, I'm. This was a session I've done, I think, in October last year, and the look of this session was just very natural portrait. So I told her no makeup. If there's anything I need to do on the skin, I'll do it in post. I don't want to have a lot of makeup and then have it look unnatural. And fortunately, I don't have to do anything on her skin. It was just, perfect. And I try to do just one light on purpose, not a elaborate light setup. I do that a lot for my dances where I have 4 lights, sometimes 5 lights, and this one was just single light. I wanted it to look as natural as possible. The more lights you add, the more it looks like produced and specifically made to look, have all the things, edge lights and all of that. I didn't want to do that on this one. This is supposed to be a natural look. So mostly I used window lights, or I had one big softbox around, a collapsible softbox, and used that. I think this one here was basically the softbox, not the window light. I mean, when I do like a commercial shoot, like I've done a lot of commercial shoots for like clothing companies and for magazines, like stuff like that, and you do a completely different light. You do a very more refined light and more commercial looking. This is not that. Basically, it's an opposite. Well, not the opposite, but yeah. But no, I get your point about the monitor. I've been doing this for many years, and when I started, I bought a pretty expensive ISO monitor actually because I wanted to have a good one, and I used it for many years. But that was a long time ago. But yeah, it definitely makes a difference. I just don't think the MacBook Pro screen. I don't think the difference is worth the money for me. That's just all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's no point in a more expensive monitor. I just don't see it for me worth it. Do you use any custom presets that you apply to all the RAW files and import? I feel like a lot of my RAW files lean too much towards yellow compared to my JPEGs. I do have 0 presets when I import. Basically what I do, I bring it in and it's just like no settings are applied to it. And that's mostly the reason because I'm shooting a lot of outdoors. I shoot at different lighting conditions. So there's every session almost has a different lighting and color scheme look to it. So there's no one setting that would apply. If I would shoot in a studio and I had the same or very similar light setup, I might do that. But the way I work, almost every session is different. So what I do is I bring it in, I look at it, and then I spend some time on the first few photos to figure out what the colors are, how to edit it. Once I'm happy with this, then I copy paste it to all of them or to most of them. So that's kind of my workflow. I always start with a neutral. If it comes into yellow, again, what I recommend is you bring in a session, you edit the first few photos to get that yellow tint out, or just have the look that you want and then you copy paste it. I don't think a preset would apply to all your sessions. Let's see here. Yeah, there's still a lot of little flyaway here. I'm not going to edit this now because it's boring. I'm going to do a little bit here. And but honestly, I've shot with a lot of different Nikon cameras, and I think they should all be pretty similar. So if you have different Nikons, at least it should be consistent. So I just going from, I don't know how many Nikons I've had, probably 10 different ones. And like, if you have shoot with different camera models on the same sessions, and they you bring it all in, they at least look similar enough that you can use the same presets for both of them, as long as they're within like roughly the same era. Like if you bring in photos from a D200, they will not look the same as a D9 right now or something like that. That wouldn't work. Which is actually a good point. What camera are you using? Are you using a Z50 and Z5 II? The Z5 II sounds good. Is that, how happy are you with that one? I see a lot of good things about it. It's a full frame, right? Yeah, the Z5 is a full frame. The Z50 is a crop. Yeah, I'm curious. How do you like the Z5 II? When that one came, yeah, full frame. Yeah, when that one came out, I actually considered it. Maybe I should buy it as a like a small second body or something, or third body. But I ended up buying the ZR, which, because I shoot a lot of video, that made more sense for me. Cool. Yeah, I'm super happy with this one. This is good. I was asking Liberty, that's the model. Her name is Liberty. I was asking her to join the live, but she has a basketball game or something, so she won't be able to join. But if you want to see her work, she's I mean, obviously she's not an adult yet, so you can't call her a professional because she still goes to school, but she shoots a lot of commercials, advertising. I pinned my comment with her username on Instagram. If you want to check out her Instagram, you can see all the stuff she does. I think she does a lot of like fashion, like stuff like that. A typical model work. All right, let's see. Oh, I like these. These are cool. Let's see if we can do something with that. I like it. Let's start with the colors. That's the most important. 48, 76, 66. That's actually pretty close. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, this is good. Few stray hair. And, oh, there's more. Definitely need a better color for the background. It's kind of too close to the skin tone. So we're going to do a background. I'm going to do it by hand now so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to call this BG for background. And we're going to desaturate it. So I'm going to turn it off, see what it does. It just changes. Yeah, maybe it's a little too much. Yeah, maybe it's a little too much. Let's do this. Okay. And then the hair gets a little bit dark here. It always does. And here. So what I'm doing, I'm painting just the darkest area. And let me zoom out again. And now I'm bringing up the exposure just on these areas. Maybe I'll bring the shadows up like this. and you'll see it just adds a little more texture and detail to the hair. That's good. Okay, I do like it, but something's missing. I'm not sure what. What's missing? What else should I do on this one here? Maybe it is the crop, huh? I do like it. Let's leave it and move on. Wait, pick. These are good. Ooh, I like it with the arm. I wish I had the whole elbow in there though. Oh, here it is. There's the elbow. And lost it again. Newbie master, question mark, question mark. I'm editing photos unless if you just joined. It's a portrait session I did like last October. All right, here's a little different one. That's a good one. Let's start with this one here. This was actually my softbox, yes. It looks like a window light. That was the idea. Very good. I'm going to edit this a little bit, but oh my God, that's going to be too much. I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just going to do a little bit and you imagine the rest. How about that? So let's start with the color again. The skin, 60, 50, 35. A little more blue. 60, 50, 38. I'm happy with this. That's good. Okay, we need to separate the background. Subject. A little brighter. A little more shadows. There we go. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a gradient, which is M, from here, and I'm going to darken this side a bit. Here we go. That helps a lot. Here, let me show you. This is before, this is after. I like it. What if I bring this one up a little bit? I'm going to try the opposite here. And plus a little bit. Yes, that's good. This is getting a little too much light. Bring this down. Same here. This is fine. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. All right, now I'm super happy with this one. This could almost go as a, let me try that with the next one. Let's go here. Pick this one. We're gonna paste the settings to the next ones. Ew. And sync. What if I try a crop like this? Would that work? Ooh, I kind of like it. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that's good. What do you guys think? How do you like this crop versus, oops, this crop? What am I doing? I'm switching to the wrong photo. Let me go back to this one. I think this mask is wrong. Let me try this one here. It needs to be here. Yes. Nah, this is good. Perfect. I like both. This one's good too. Close crop looks good. I agree. Paul's photos. Yes. It has the same feel, like it's not changing the photo all, but yeah, this is good. Gonna get rid of this little fuzzy here. I don't know, but these little things always bug me. Let's do it for the other photo as well. Where was it? Here. Let's get rid of it. Come on. Yes. All right, we like both. Let's do the exact same thing for, sync it again, replace. I'll try black and white out of this one. Black and white. Oh yeah, that's good. I really like that one. Let's get rid of this here real quick. This mask. Exposure. Let's make the bottom dark as well. Okay. And my favorite fuzzy is gonna be gone. I often like doing head or head shoulder shots in a landscape crop. Yes, I agree. Basically, let me zoom out a little bit like this, and then an unknown error occurred. Okay, thanks Lightroom. It's so weird. I don't know, maybe it doesn't know what to do with it. But yeah, this crop for that photo. That's really weird. Why is it doing that? Now this one photo as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, I'll figure it out later. So, yeah, the horizontal crop for this one looks good. Oh, she's changing her leg to the other side. All right, these are good. Let's do these. This is good. The piano. So this chandelier is not natural. This was like, yeah, you can see that frame here. This pipe frame, someone made that. That was a studio for photographers. This is specifically built, this whole room for photographers, and someone decided it was good to have a chandelier in the background of the piano, and the fact that it is on this rod is kind of funny. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could edit it out like this way. Let's see what happens. All right, now it's just suspended in the air. Actually, I don't mind the rod. Kind of looks natural. Let me double check. Yes, I shot it with a ZR and I shot it in JPEG. I'm an idiot. Oh well, whatever. Thankfully, I got the colors and exposure pretty close to what I want, so it's fine. Not much editing to do here. Let's see. Tiny little fuzzy hair again. Not that I can do much about it, but let me double check the colors. 67, 68. Oh yeah, that's good. That's perfect. That's spot on. Cool. Look at the piano, isn't that awesome? Actually want to bring it out a little more. Let me brighten that up a little bit. There we go. Yes. More piano. Piano. Cool. Okay, this is good, but let's look at the rest that I took here. I think there's a better one. How about we try this in black and white? I'm not sure. I kind of like the color so much in this one that I'm missing it in the black and white, but just for fun, we're going to do it. Exposure. More piano, please. Here we go. That's good. That's good. Okay. And now we're going to try, who said that with the pause photos with the horizontal one? We'll try that. We'll do the horizontal. Crop on this one here. Let's see. Yeah, this one's good. Let me see. I think there's a better photo for the horizontal crop. Let me see. How about that in a horizontal crop? That's a good one. Yes. This is the right one for the horizontal one, right? Do you agree? Let me double check the exposure. Yeah, that's good. I agree. 80, 70, 62. Yeah, colors are good. Could be a little warmer. If I do the vibrance a little higher. Again, this is a JPEG, so there's only so much I can do. But fortunately, the light was really good. It worked out great. Nice, nice. Perfect. Yeah, horizontal or vertical looks great. Let me see if I can bring a little bit more out of the dress that she's wearing or whatever that is. Just a little bit. Yeah, again, it's a JPEG. There's not much I can do. That's unfortunate. Ah, damn it. It is what it is. It's okay. Oh, this one's good too. Yes. A little too warm, huh? Where's my color? Yeah. Touch more blue. Wait, did I do anything? No. Oh, because I have this one open. Yes. 75, 60. Yeah, that's good. Cool. Yeah, this chandelier and the whole light, everything, the piano, the reflection. That's awesome. Pick this one. Pick this. Make a black and white. Ooh, that's good too. Dang, the light was so good. I don't really need to do anything here. It's good. This one maybe here. I just have to find something. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with this one. Oh, here's a little wider shot. This, you see the piano a little more. I think this is a good one for, again, thanks for the suggestion. Pause photos, horizontal crop. Let's go for the whole cinema experience. A little warmer, a little more vibrance. Oh yeah, that's great. Maybe the background a little darker. Nice, yes. Let me double check the color. Well, it's actually not bad. Oh yeah, the horizontal works great here. Perfect. Cool. All right, let's do one more and then I'm gonna wrap it up today. Let's do a good one for as a last one. Got enough of the piano. How about this one? No, not this one. Oh, and the ground is actually kind of interesting. Let's start with the back. I needed some testing to get the right. That's a good one, right? Let me see if I can do a. Wait, how do I turn it this way? Let's try the horizontal one. The yawn is adorable. Yeah. I know. I thought it was funny, so I took one. Nah, I like the one. I like this one better here. This is cool. Oh, it looks like I already did something on this one here. Okay. Let me look at the original. So that was the original. Okay. Almost. I don't know. Maybe you'll find a better one from up top. Here we go. That's a happy one. I like this. Okay, brighter. Ooh, no. Yes, that's better. A little warmer. Actually, let me zoom in on the for the skin tones. Let's see. Oops. 50, 40. Yeah, a little more blue. But I kind of like it that way. I'll leave it that way. Okay, and then here add object. Yes. Okay. Still not my favorite. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. That's an interesting one. I know I said we're going to do one. I have to find a good one. Warmer. Can't decide. That's nice and moody. Yeah, those are, I mean, I really like them. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. That's the one. Yes. Okay, I think I found one. This is worth it. Yes. Once we started putting the hair out, it added a lot, and then her looking to the light is better. I think this one needs a little more push here. Gosh, did I shoot this in JPEG again? Of course, I'm a dumbass. Okay. All right, that's why. It's not bad though. Yes. So let me see what I did. I did this one to brighten it up. Oh, this is just a highlight. And this was brightening up. And then this side I made, to make this a little darker. Okay. Trying to go back what I did. Cool. Alrighty, cool. I'm going to save the rest for the next session tomorrow. And thanks everybody for watching. Gonna see you tomorrow live, hopefully. Same spot, same time.